What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency, then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
Nope. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. That's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne. Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reed. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
I'll leave you then. Good night.
Shit, that leech is fast! Over there! There's one of them vermin! It ain't human! Kill it!
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow. Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
Yes, you did. And it was cowardly and inexcusable.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Goodbye, young man.
Boots will be proud of me.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. No one can help me. Not even you.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
I'm not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy?
Funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets.
How are you, boy?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off.
Goodbye.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Wasted your life away.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
It's all a bloody joke to you,
Its
innit?
effectiveness has been proven by
Drugs for
many.
the sick and suffering.
Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to. No one's there. I cannot enter. Excuse me, sir. I have a few...
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Greetings, fellow gamer. Oh shit. Say hi to the man. Say hi, Jody. Hi, Jody. How are you, Jody? How you doing, Jody? I like the profile picture. Jody.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
What?
Prince Harry! There's a plot twist! There are only pain and suffering in this world.
He heard you talking about,
Even my dreams
pink
are
hair.
soaked with glue.
Well, let me go, let me give you some screw. Go subscribe to him then.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
I'm guessing you two share an account?
It's locked, all right.
Well, I hope we don't spoil anything for you.
It's locked.
How have you been, Jody?
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Oh, that's... Okay, that is actually normal, that is actually...
How do you feel?
Oh,
I'm fine.
you said
I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like.
Your father.
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
You can hear the game in the back of my mic's just fucking acting up right now.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you.
So you're a fan
Does
of
this
Dark
look like a
Souls,
nice
are you?
place to live?
Well, I'm Dark Souls. Wait, is it Dark Souls? No, it isn't. It looks like Dark Souls. I thought it was Dark Souls. Oh, you play... Is that... No, that isn't. What is this game? What the hell is this game? The fuck is this game? Jody? Oh, it's Star Trek Online. I was like, what the fuck is this game that he's playing? I was so confused.
You have a roof over your head, a place to call home. Many people here are not as lucky, you know.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
Is Star Trek Online good?
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside.
What are you doing?
It terrifies me so.
What are you doing, you little...
I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody, frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
What the hell? What race are you in the game? Because I've heard that you click like different squadrons and all that, or different races and all that.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Should I kill his son?
Prince Harry?
Yeah, Prince Harry.
No one rules forever.
Nah, I won't kill him.
You might need to get from him later.
Yep, there is.
Well, they'll kill him now.
I'll just use him. I'll just use you. Death to all humans. I am going for a bad guy out of this run.
You again? What do you want this time?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Nice Futurama reference.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now, and people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak, and there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
He followed me, Barbie. He followed me on that PlayStation.
You are a criminal who endorses criminal activity. The least you could do is stop hiding behind this pretense.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Thank you for subscribing to us as well.
Goodbye, Mr. Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
Let's see if the bot's working. Come on, Extreme Elements. He isn't.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a
I'll download
decent
that
boxer, good one
online
even.
tonight.
But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
The DLC is just for just an extra weapon and an extra gun and a coat. I do want it, but I can't get it.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
On the PlayStation Store, on the US PlayStation Store.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody will be fool enough to stand against the Wet Boot Boy.
What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy,
Prince Harry.
but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
Well, despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Yeah, I'll see you on the first. Buy now, it's only $3.
Right then. Show me... You... Goodbye.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Good evening, Harry.
Sure. Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
So,
I'm not bothered.
your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
I'm gonna look at it anyways.
Screenshot of the 142.
Yeah! It's 4 hours I streamed this game for.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Do you know...
Yes, I know it.
Goodbye, young.
Is there only pain and suffering?
I've heard about that game, but it's a PC only, right?
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christine...
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Well, fuck it.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
It's the game where you can create your own vampire, right? And all that.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
I bet he's gonna look good as well, man. I bet he's gonna play good as well.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
I hope they do take the game right. Quite amazing.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
I'm not at 83 subscribers yet.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
If no one stops it, this epidemic could turn into a scourge. It may kill more people than the war itself.
Yes, this is another kind of war, but just as deadly. History will judge us all for what we did and what we did not.
Sorry about that.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
I hope you don't mind the background noise.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth.
If any of you can hear it.
I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Shit.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
Gotta go.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
No.
Oh, my ears are kind of making me a little dizzy right now.
I'm gonna miss you, Bobby.
Goodbye, Mr.
Huh? Oh, fuck it.
Exactly, yawning is contagious. You yawn on mic, people start yawning.
Hey, no, yawning is contagious. Man, I like this Jody guy. Joey, what the fuck? How did I just say?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. I know you understand what I'm saying. Very well.
I will add you on PSN after the stream is done, which I'm probably going to end it soon because my girlfriend's killing it off. I want my Barbie. I want my Barbie.
Oh my god! We have to stop it!
I will take my time and enjoy this game. Whoops.
God walks with me!
Oh god, what the hell? Ah, he's a god, he's a god taking me!
Stay back, beast!
He is a god taking me! Praise Jesus! Can I get an amen? What the? Ah! Oh my god, this guy is actually overpowered. This guy's actually overpowered. He just used the power of God. Legacy of Cain. What's Legacy of Cain? I've heard it before. Legacy of Cain. Baby, what's Legacy of Cain? I've heard it before. Legacy of Cain. I'm gonna just use the power of God on me. He is a god forsaken man. He's a god forsaken man. God, Jesus. Old PS game.
Legacy of Cain Soul.
PS2. Oh, okay, then I might have not heard of it. I don't know. I'm hoping it. Oh yeah, we heard it from Ted. Remember? Legacy of Cain.
Get them weapons ready!
We heard it from Ted.
Eat this!
Oh, I just got killed in like 2 hits. Okay, I'm just gonna avoid this place. Good God. I got stuck in between 2 vampire hunters. it's not.
Sorry.
Stuff you, Judy. Stuff you.
Sorry. No, sorry.
You're D.O.B.
Date of birth?
Daughter of a bitch. Doesn't sound right.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you're a date of birth. Yeah, take that. Burn. Haha. Feel the wrath. Feel the wrath of King Arthur. You roast like a campfire. Oh, who the fuck's this? Oh my god, it's a priest! It's a godly man!
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist?
Hey, at least Jody is laughing, right? He's laughing my ass off. Fucking ass off.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu
Maybe cry, man.
is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally
My
revealing itself,
girlfriend
corrupting
Judy is
the flesh and the heart of
a
men.
fan of the movie
With my
Ava.
own eyes, I have seen them. Those minions from the abyss.
They didn't explain anything. No background, really.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
The Avengers Infinity War. I think that's what it's called, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's having the couple stream, Barbie. She's having the couple stream now. Like we have for the
Tell
past
me,
few
Tobias,
days.
what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Be prepared.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
Purification by fire
No
has proved
spoilers.
useful.
We have no
But
spoilers.
where do you stop?
here.
Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of
have to
faith
tell
is
something.
predictable.
There is a new
But my
superhero
task is
there
to
called
convince
Dr.
rational
Big
minds
Man.
like yours to see
He's
the
the deadliest of
light.
them all. He's the deadliest of them
This
all.
is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous.
Even Thanos doesn't
You're
want
nothing
to
but a
kill them.
soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool.
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Right now.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me.
Oh, Barney.
But what do I know?
No, I'm not
Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I do want us in the stream soon to go watch.
I am.
Lightning.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer,
I've
Samuel
seen
will fear no
the
evil
Flash
while he
Black
walks
Lightning.
through the valley of the shadow of death.
And that's it. I haven't seen the arrows in
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
Well, everybody, this is where I end my stream.
I have heard.
This is where I end my stream. Thank you all for watching. This has been King Arthur, Jake, or EndeavorIsOp. Thanks for watching. Now I have to fucking thanks for watching Stronghold, wink wink, nudge nudge. Now I have to end the stream, so it's kind of awkward. It's kind of like when you leave and say goodbye to a friend and then they keep walking in the same direction as you. I have to end the stream, okay. Bye! Good night, Jody. Thank you for the support. Bye! Bye! Bye, everybody.